Greetings, Don Alexander here with Gene Coda Executive and Professional Search. Thank you for the consideration of our firm. We look forward to the prospect of working with you and have put together this client video collage. We wanted you to get a real-world view of what it's like to work with our firm. For the full-length videos of each client, please visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel on youtube.com/c/Gene Coda.
We work together since about 10 years now, I think. Yeah, 10 years. Approximately. Has been a very good experience because I think that you showed the capability and the willingness to embrace the culture of Techniplast. So you were not just placing one candidate and then move on to another customer and to another search. You understand our culture. You understood that in some case, we came to you for search that were not maybe of high level, but that were important for Techniplast. And you embraced also this search that maybe were less, let's say, not in line exactly with your high target. And so for me, the value was that you showed the willingness to develop a long-term partnership with us.
I've had the privilege of working with you, Don, now for about 20 years. So that's actually where it started. And clearly, this business is about relationships. And I've had the opportunity both on the receiving end, but also on the hiring end to work with recruiters for virtually all of my career. But I've had an excellent interaction with you, and I really like the way that you handle this part of our business. We have so many more tools available to us as companies and as hiring managers today that don't require a recruiter. But even in that mix, there are times when it's really, really important. And that's where I think the good ones have survived and thrived, much like you and your firm.
It happened much faster than I was expecting. People have been saying, you should bring on this senior management person 3 months before you hit market, and then basically start that search process 6 months before you want to bring them on. And so I started that on that timeline. But Don, you found someone within about 2 weeks who ended up, and so we started having conversations with that person and started going really, really well. They came here to Durham, and we had just fantastic and just checked all the boxes. And so that was just really clicked. And I think she's the right person. And so I think that was kind of the main thing, is that my expectations were for quite a bit longer timeline. And actually now I'm trying to figure out how we manage the transition within our budget, so we can have a smooth transition there, in alignment with our fundraising. So I think that was the main thing in terms of it happened really fast, and the first person you really connected me to ended up being a home run.
Cartera, but also in previous lives, I've had my team of managers actually engage you as well. And what I tell them is really essentially the answer to your question. Number one is the turnaround is very quick. I think that there's an incredible value to the network that you've developed, and network and database. And you will know a lot of the people firsthand. You'll know them by name. They'll know you. But there are also people that you won't know that you network into. The turnaround typically is faster than really any other recruiting firm I've worked with. I don't know why it takes so long. I think there's a lot of cloak and dagger and too many cycles that go with recruiting. I don't like that. I think you don't like that. And therefore, we've had this sort of very contiguous relationship in terms of our thoughts on how to attract good talent. And so speed at turnaround is one. And then secondly, the quality is exactly what I need for what I like to do. So when we get a stack of not just resumes, but really profiles of potential candidates, they are 90% or more on target with what we're looking for. So if you think about the speed of turnaround, and therefore then the efficiency that comes with people who are already well qualified, we get to recruiting and bringing people into the company very quickly.
if you want to work with somebody that is embracing the culture of the company and willing with you over the long period, Don Alexander is there, he's the man, and Gene Coda is the company. And why I mention a lot understanding the culture of the company, because, you know, a candidate can have all the skills and all the qualifications that are required for a job, but sometimes a candidate can fail because it doesn't fit with the company culture. I am not defending Techniplast culture, but it's our culture. So you have to work with somebody that understands this culture and propose candidates that, of course, they have the qualifications and the skills to do the job. But also there is a high chance that they will fit into the culture of the company, of the coworkers, of the boss, of the function. So for me, this willingness to understand the culture is the critical element of hiring a good candidate that can flourish.
Really needed a very experienced person to help me to come in and really help, first of all, attract investment, which has been a really big part of this, and really give our investors confidence that there's, you know, someone with experience on board who is making sure that everything's being done correctly and can really get this to the next stage of growth, and really, you know, close these hospital contracts. So I think really identified early on that I needed someone with a wide variety of skill sets. So, you know, a broad number of things we were looking for. And I think initially my search was kind of in the local area, Research Triangle area, kind of broader North Carolina area. But then at some point realized that I think we, you know, decided to look more broadly for a person, for a candidate. And yeah, I think just realized that I think the cost was very much well worth the potential value of finding a really experienced person who would really help drive investment and drive us to market. So
if you talk about sales role, again, there are sales rep for consumer products, there are sales rep for capital equipment products. But even somebody that has an expertise on selling capital equipment, so they understand the long cycle, they understand working with different stakeholders, architects, GC, and so on. Well, if they don't understand our industry, it's not going to be a successful sales rep. So for me, the key was that specifically you, Don, you knew the life science industry, and you knew that the life science industry is here to support the drug discovery. You understand that we deal with animals, and we are very compassionate about the animals. It's not just a testing equipment. It's an animal that support the sales with the drug discovery. So if you don't have this type of prerequisite, you cannot be a good sales rep. So for me at the beginning was crucial, the fact that you understood the life science industry.
There's nothing better than trying, right? You give somebody the opportunity to earn the business. And I think, Don, you've always been willing to earn the business wherever I've gone. And you've understood that if I were new in a role, that it would have to be well executed and timely, and therefore convert maybe some of the other vested parties within a company, whether that be the CFO or the head of HR. So I would recommend people absolutely try at least one search, particularly in life sciences and the commercial part of life sciences. I certainly have most experience there, though I've hired a lot of scientists. So there's nothing better than trying. I can tell you how successful and how efficient it's been, but I think people need to make the effort. I think if they think it takes too long today, it does take too long. I think if they think they're paying too much for what they're getting, they're probably paying too much for what they're getting. And if they don't have enough quality candidates to where they have a choice in the end, that's probably what they're going to continue to get. So if you want to move away from those sorts of very typical relationships with search firms, then trying at least one search with Don, of course, would be the way to go.